Hey guys, welcome back to Contest Prep University. I'm Joe Klemczewski with Adam Atkinson. We're going to move into part 2 of tanning. And back in the day, Adam, there were fewer options, but they still exist. Pro Tan being one of them that I can remember using at my very first show when I was 20 years old. And then, of course, we moved into the Dream Tan era, which I definitely want to touch on. But what do you find now between the home products you can use, self products, versus getting on-site service? What do you think the best overall strategy is?
I think if it's your first show, I think you should always use a host tanner because there's so many variables that a new client does not know. I think putting their own tanning product can be one more thing they're maybe a little stressed out about. So I always recommend host tanning the first show, and then maybe doing a practice round of, trying some Dream Tan or some Pro Tan on yourself and see how you do, see how that result is. I know I had used Dream Tan one show, but a lot of venues can ban Dream Tan too. So that's something you always have to pay attention to with what shows you're doing. I know the NPC tends to be a little harder on Dream Tan, where you go into the WNBF Worlds. Does anyone not wear Dream Tan at the Worlds? It's
yeah. Do you see a difference? And we're not here to try and sell or endorse any products. We just want to give you guys the best information and options. But do you see a lot of similarity between things like Jantana, Pro Tan, and I'm not even sure who else is in the game right now, where you say, these are definitely individual choices, or there really are ones that are better?
Yeah, I really have always leaned towards Pro Tan. I feel like they definitely have a very easy to use product, but also when they are doing tanning at shows, they're super organized and very easy to work with, which is great. So I've always been a fan. That's always kind of what I keep stocked here in my office. If a client needs tanning product last minute, they can just swing by my house and here you go, just in case you run out. So
now, do you deviate from the instructions? How many times a day you're applying, the way you do it? You rinse off in the shower and kind of air dry and then apply. Are there any tricks of the trade that you use that are different?
Yeah, there's always that variance of, I will say, coat until you feel dark enough. And that varies client to client. My last show I was at was with one of my bodybuilders who won overall, and I had him stand next to one of my girls. And I said, I think you need to be darker. She got tanned by the host. He was doing his own. I was like, let's throw one more coat on. And just by comparison, him standing next to somebody who got sprayed by the host tanner, which I knew most people would be that dark, I went ahead and had him do another layer. So that one extra coat was helpful in making him the right amount of darkness. I think it would have been just a touch too light. But there's definitely some variations between companies and how dark their product is. Most specifically, the Dream Tan and the Pro Tan are way different. Dream Tan has that shine or sheen to it. And the last one big thing people might not realize is you do not want to glaze Dream Tan. That already has that almost like a glitter to it is how I would describe it. Would you describe it that way as well?
Yeah, and it was my default when it first came out because it was so helpful. And like you said, even when a lot of judges were saying, hey, we don't think it's the best, we think it's maybe discounts or diminishes some of your separation and just muscle striation. Like you said, it seems like almost every winner uses it because it makes your body so flawless, especially if it's a thin coat. If you have base tan already and then you're putting this on it with a thin coat, I still see it very, very effective.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think in the organizations like the WNBF and OCB, it's definitely the go-to tan for those people. And you make a great point. Having that base coat of something on like Pro Tan before you actually apply the Dream Tan is key, because the more Dream Tan you use, the more you might be getting lotion more so in the crevices of your body, which could shade your detail. So when people do say that about Dream Tan, it's usually bad application versus the product itself. So
yeah, and I want to spend one more episode on this topic, really going through that, which is the application process and that final touch, because it can make a big difference. And I've got a couple stories about that. So we'll see you guys next time in the third and final episode on tanning.